A 19-year-old girl was brought into the emergency room by her parents. She had been complaining of chest pains and difficulty breathing for some time, but it wasn't until they got home from their family dinner that she collapsed right in front of them. "I don't feel so good," she told her mom before she passed out. Her dad caught her before she hit the floor, but he knew something was seriously wrong. At the hospital, doctors determined that the teenager's heart had stopped beating. It seemed like all hope was lost. Then they received a phone call that changed everything. A potential donor had been found and was on their way. The only question was, would it be too late? The girl's parents signed the papers allowing doctors to perform the surgery as fast as possible. They didn't know who the donor was, but they were eternally grateful. But when the new heart arrived, doctors made a shocking discovery. It wasn't the right size. At first, everyone was confused. Had they received the wrong organ? What was going to happen to the poor girl? But then the attending physician stepped forward and surprised everyone. He was actually the donor. But why did he do it? Let me tell you. It all started a few weeks earlier with a regular checkup. The patient was a 19-year-old girl. She had always been in good health, but recently she had been having some trouble breathing, and her chest hurt all the time. At first, she thought it was just stress. After all, she was about to graduate high school and go off to college. But then one day she collapsed in front of her parents. Her father, a well-known businessman, wasted no time getting his daughter to the best hospital in town. The doctors ran tests and diagnosed her with a rare heart condition. Essentially, her heart was too big for her body, and since it couldn't pump blood efficiently, she would eventually die. The only option was a transplant, but finding a matching donor was extremely difficult. As the days passed, the girl's condition worsened. She was exhausted all the time and could barely get out of bed. Her parents were beside themselves with worry. They loved their little girl very much and would do anything to help her. But what could they do? Then one day her dad got a call that changed everything. A donor had been found. Her heart was being brought to the hospital as we speak. Her parents signed the necessary papers and waited anxiously for the surgery to begin. They didn't know who the donor was, but they were grateful to them and their family for their generosity. However, when the new heart arrived, doctors discovered something shocking. It was too big. Everyone panicked, but then the attending physician stepped forward and silenced everyone in the room. He explained that there was no time to waste, and the surgery had to go on as planned, but otherwise the girl would die. And even though the new heart wasn't exactly the right size, he knew just what to do. With trembling hands, he took the scalpel and made an incision in the young girl's chest. He carefully removed her failing heart and examined it. Then he took the new heart and began to trim it down. All the nurses in the operating room were shocked. Why was the doctor performing such a risky procedure? What was he thinking? The answer, however, became clear when the doctor finished trimming the heart. It was now the perfect size for his patient. But there was still one problem. The doctor looked at the clock and realized that he was running out of time. If he didn't get the surgery done soon, the girl would die. So without wasting a moment, he began sewing the new heart into place. The nurses held their breath as he worked quickly but carefully. Suddenly, one of the nurses noticed something strange. The doctor's face was pale, and he was sweating profusely. Was he okay? The nurse reached out and touched his shoulder. "Are you sure you're all right?" she asked. The doctor nodded, but his eyes were fixed on the girl's chest. Where the new heart should be, it was empty. In a panic, the nurse called for backup. As other doctors rushed into the operating room, the truth became clear. The doctor had taken his own heart and given it to the girl. But why? What had possessed him to do such a thing? When the other doctors arrived, they were shocked to find the girl's chest open and her heart missing. It seemed like the doctor had performed some kind of black magic. But then they saw the truth. The doctor was lying on a nearby table, his chest also open, his heart removed. He had saved the girl's life at the cost of his own. Everyone in the room was stunned. Nobody had ever seen anything like this before. Some of the doctors were angry. Why had the doctor put himself in danger? Others were in awe. It was a noble sacrifice, something straight out of a movie. The girl's parents were incredibly grateful to the doctor. He understood his sacrifice and knew that he had saved their daughter's life. In the end, the girl made a full recovery. She grew up and went on to live a happy life. The doctor's sacrifice was never forgotten. People still talked about the amazing thing he had done years after he died. The girl's parents made sure to visit his grave every year on the anniversary of his death.
Oh.
They knew that he was a hero, and they wanted to make sure that he was never forgotten. As for the other doctors in the operating room that day, they learned a valuable lesson about sacrifice and selflessness. They also learned that sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones who make the ultimate sacrifice. The girl's parents were so grateful to the doctor who had sacrificed his own heart to save their daughter. They wanted to do something special to honor him, so they decided to set up a scholarship fund in his name. Every year, they would award a local high school student with a scholarship to study medicine. The scholarship was open to anyone who showed the same kindness, compassion, and selflessness that the doctor had shown to their daughter. One day, one of the scholarship recipients, a bright-eyed young woman named Sarah, visited the doctor's grave. She had heard stories about him from her parents and wanted to pay her respects. As she stood by the grave, she realized that she wanted to follow in his footsteps and become a doctor. She wanted to help people and make a difference in the world, just like he had done. From that day on, Sarah dedicated herself to her studies. She worked hard and never gave up, even when things got tough. She knew that the doctor had made the ultimate sacrifice so that she and other students could pursue their dreams, and she didn't want to let him down. Years went by and Sarah graduated from medical school. She became a successful doctor, working at the same hospital where the doctor had saved the girl's life. She never forgot the doctor's sacrifice and the impact it had on her life. She continued to visit his grave every year on the anniversary of his death, bringing flowers and sharing stories with his family. The doctor's legacy lived on through Sarah and the other students he had inspired. His sacrifice had made a lasting impact on the community and future generations of doctors. People still talked about the amazing thing he had done, and his story was a source of pride for the hospital and the town. The girl who received the doctor's heart also went on to lead a fulfilling life. She became a teacher, sharing her passion for literature with young minds. She never forgot the doctor's sacrifice and the second chance at life he had given her. She too became an advocate for organ donation, encouraging others to follow in the doctor's footsteps and save lives through their generosity. The doctor's act of selflessness had not only saved the girl's life, but it also inspired many others to become better people and make a positive impact on the world. His story was a testament to the power of human kindness and the importance of making sacrifices for others.